Hey comic fans, it is Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Today I wanted to talk about an omnibus wishlist book that I would really like to see someday and my thoughts on what should be done by DC to make it a reality, and that is Flashpoint. I've got my custom omnibus here. That's not what I'm going to talk about this video. I'm going to talk about what should have been or what could be a really awesome idea for a Flashpoint omnibus. I think it deserves it, collecting all the tie-ins, all 66 issues. Let's dive in. Real quick, before we get started, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We post videos daily, everything and anything comic book related, especially hardcover comics. Be sure to hit that like button, it really helps us a lot. Feel free to comment down below as well as you see anything throughout the video you want more, you want to talk about or sparks an idea, whatever it may be. Feel free to down below. Love having conversations with fellow comic collectors. Today I wanted to go over my thoughts on a Flashpoint omnibus. It's 66 issues, total 66 issues from the prelude stuff in Flash all the way through to the end with, I think, Lost Kid Flash or something like that is the miniseries. So obviously, 66 issues is a lot. I don't think that's ever been collected in a single book. I may be wrong, but I highly doubt it. It'd be a huge book, and with DC, I guess, and especially something like Flashpoint, doing 2 volumes might be a little difficult. So my idea, what would be really cool, and this is sort of inspired by the recent Meta Barons box set, would be to do a box set with 2 omnis in it, basically 33 issues in each omnibus. It'd be a pretty fat box set, but it would collect everything that has to do with Flashpoint, Aquaman, Wonder Woman and the Furies, Lois Lane and the Resistance, Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, all that stuff, everything. I think it'd be a really cool idea. Granted, it'd be a little bit expensive because it is a lot of content, but I think it's a possibility. I'm going to put up a little reading order here that I found, comicbookreadingorders.com, that sort of lists out all the issues involved in Flash. I do have this custom omnibus that I put together from a lot that I got, basically. Of course, I wasn't able to collect everything, but I got a good chunk of material in here. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit coming up here in a short little while. But in the meantime, let's talk about Flashpoint a little bit, the story itself, what's going on in it. So of course it revolves around Flash, Barry Allen, and Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is the main antagonist, and of course people have heard about the New 52. If you're not familiar with what it is, it's what resulted due to Flashpoint. Basically, without Flashpoint, you don't have the New 52, and what happens in it is basically Barry, never becomes the Flash, and we get to see how that changes the DC universe. Of course, with all the characters, Batman, you get to see what's happening with Superman, with Wonder Woman, with the Green Lanterns a little bit. You get to see what's happening with Lois Lane, what's happening with Themyscira and Atlantis, which is probably the biggest part of the Flashpoint universe, and a whole bunch of other things. And it's for the most part, from what I've read, it's all very well done. It's a different take, of course, on the DC universe. It's a little darker, it's a little more sinister, and just pessimistic in general. Things like Batman is no longer Bruce Wayne, the Joker is no longer the Joker we all know and love. Superman is not the hero flying in a blue suit up in the sky giving everyone hope. Of course, there is no Flash. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war with each other. Lois Lane is leading a group of resistance fighters, I believe in the UK or Greece, to try to put a stop to this war that's going to be happening. And there's a lot of story arcs that climax within Flash, and it's really great. I really enjoyed all of them. The Batman one's fantastic, by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riso. The Aquaman one was fantastic. I think Tony Bedard wrote that one. And I've got a few others in here that I forget. I think Seven Soldiers of Mystery is in there as well, which was a Peter Milligan mini. And that's what you got. You got a whole bunch of minis. The main series ran for 5 issues. Beautiful artwork by Andy Kubert, of course, written by Jeff Johns. and it was a great story. And you could, of course, read the 5 issues without having to worry about anything else, without reading the prequel stuff as well. But getting to know the characters and their backgrounds and seeing what's happening behind the scenes and figuring out why Aquaman and Wonder Woman are suddenly at war with each other in Flashpoint, issue whatever it is, number 4, why Superman's in the situation he's in. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's a great Elseworld event, crisis, retcon, whatever you want to call it. Probably the best way you could have handled it. And of course, Jeff Johns did it very well, in my opinion. I would love to see this in oversized format because the artwork's fantastic in a lot of the tie-ins, and of course in Flashpoint. And a 2-volume set. But I'm going to sell you guys a little more on Flashpoint. We're going to look at the artwork and sort of go over the minis that I have collected here that I can give a little more detail on, so stay tuned. Okay, let's take a closer look at some of the content involved with Flashpoint. Of course, starting off with the Road to Flashpoint. I believe this was issues 9 through 12 of The Flash, written by Jeff Johns. Let me just zoom in a little more here for you guys. There you go. Fantastic artwork by Francis Manipool. Absolutely deserves to be oversized. I'm jumping ahead in my words here, folks, but after that, we of course get into Flashpoint. So I followed the reading order, and it's got titles all over the place, right? As you guys saw earlier, Wonder Woman and the Furies, number 1. A few, I did a mix and match. I did a mix and match with how I collected this, but I did pretty much follow that guide. So, it's a bit weird. I don't know if I would recommend it 100%, but I haven't read every single tie-in, so I don't know if it all matches in together. But it's weird to read stuff about the universe before you actually get introduced to it, unless you know what's happening already in the story. But either way, it works. It works. Beautiful artwork in Flashpoint itself. This is the Secret 7. Sorry, I think I said 7 Soldiers of something before, but Secret 7 got some solid artwork. This one was okay. Wasn't terrible, but wasn't fantastic either. A nice little tie-in, though. It sort of steps outside of the boundaries of what you would expect from something like Flashpoint. It's not just typical superheroics. I think that's issue 3 right there. Little G-string action for you guys. What else? Flashpoint. Trying to get to, there we go, the Batman stuff. So this was Brian Azzarello, Eduardo Risso, finding out what happened to Bruce, to his parents, to Selina Kyle, to the Joker, oh boy, to Penguin. Just in general, what's happening in Gotham in the Flashpoint universe is not what you would expect. I did not get to collect Project Superman, unfortunately. It was not one of the series that I had. Lois Lane and the Resistance was, though. So she teams up with Hawkwoman, Grifter, a few other characters as well, and she's sort of leading a little resistance movement, reporting some news live from the scene over in, I believe it's Greece, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a hot minute for me, guys, but you get the Emperor Aquaman stuff, which is great because, of course, his history has been altered as well. You get to see how Atlantis and the Mascara have interacted, why they've gotten to the terms they're on, what's led Aquaman to be the guy he is in this series. It's really cool. It's nice, sometimes with these tie-in series it doesn't seem necessary, but I'm going to be honest, for Flashpoint it really adds a lot of depth to read all these tie-in issues, especially if you just want to get really involved in this universe. It's fantastic. It needs to be a set of omnis. It just does. Flashpoint, what do you guys think? Would you buy a 2-volume omnibus box set for Flashpoint? Maybe I'm getting a little ambitious, a little over the top with it. I'm not sure. Either way, I know I'd be interested. I'd be very excited to see that done. It'd be different. It would be new and exciting. It'd be an experiment, and I think maybe it could work. Maybe. Let me know what you guys think below. Subscribe if you want to see videos like this all the time. It's what we do. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. Like I said, it really helps us out a lot, and I look forward to reading your guys' comments. Thank you all very much. This was Mike from the Hardcover Comic. Until next time, as always, you stay classy, Internet.